Let's just see if this will behave. So we're live. Let's see. I just want things to just go right for a change. Are we? Can you guys hear me? We're live. We're live, and things are trying to. We're live. Just I haven't streamed in a very long time, and I hope that things are going good for all of you. If you guys hear a baby in the background, it's because, well, I'm living in a new apartment, and that's my godson. That is my godson, Jasper. He's fighting sleep as babies do. I'm living with a couple of roommates of mine that I used to work with. I say used to work with because, well, things have been happening. Life happened. I had to quit my job at the grocery store that I was at because, as most of you know, if you've been following on Facebook, I had to spend the night in a hospital. I'm doing fine now, but I was diagnosed with acute respiratory failure with hypoxia, and I had to quit because of that. So I'm currently without a job at the moment, and yeah, my little godson is not really wanting to go to sleep. So I'm back. I'm back on YouTube again. Not really doing much I'm not going to do much as far as videos are concerned, because, well, I can't be using my desktop computer anymore because, well, I'm having to connect via Wi-Fi because we don't have any Ethernet cables or anything to connect to the actual modem yet. I'm having to use my laptop computer, which I haven't used in a very long time. And yeah, and hi Ryan, I just now saw you. So if any of you are on my Discord, if any of you are on Discord, could some of you go to Discord and share this? If you're on my Discord server, go there and share it. And oh yeah, you can really hear him now because he's really not having it. YouTube, that is my little godson crying because he's fighting sleep very hard. And yeah, he ain't gonna have it. If I were him, I'd be just as fussy. So how have all of you been doing? Those of you that are in the live stream right now, how are you guys doing? I think the last time I did a live stream was 2 years ago, and I'm having to do a whole lot of stuff. As far as streaming is concerned, I've had to relearn how to do everything all over again. I was gonna use a camera, but I figured, well, let's just stick with audio for the time being because it's a lot easier to deal with than having to deal with everything that has been going on. And I still hope that I'm live. Can you guys still hear and see me right now? I really do hope you guys can. Okay. Well, since the last time I streamed, a lot of things have changed. For one, as I said earlier, I've had to move away from where I was living a long time. For the longest time, I was living out near Bethel Acres. I had to move away from there, and yeah, I don't have my camera on, Ryan. I would have it on, but I could turn it on, but it would be a pain in the ass to do. Plus, I've got I'm not. My setup right now is not that great. I really haven't tried streaming with my camera on. If you guys can see the Let's Talk with Broncobilly 405, that's the thing I'm going with right now. But I think just for this is just me trying things out and whatnot. It's been a long time since I've streamed. I'm not used to things, but am I too loud for any of you guys? Uh, am I too loud? I could try turning things down or not talking very loud. Um, it's just I haven't really been doing a whole lot of stuff in the 2 years since I have not been streaming. Things in my life have changed a little for the worse. Most of you, my great grandmother, prior to, I think most of you know that 2 years ago, it's been more than 2 years since my great grandmother passed away. I've since, in the 2 years that I've been gone, I moved away from where I used to live. I'm now living over in Shawnee. It's about, I would say, a good 10, 15 miles from where I used to live. I now live within Shawnee city limits with a couple friends of mine and their 3 month old baby boy, who you guys have heard cry from their bedroom. He is fighting sleep, as I said. But yeah, he it's been a long journey. I had to spend the night in a hospital because of I couldn't breathe. They diagnosed me with moderate persistent asthma with acute exacerbation, along with acute respiratory failure with hypoxia. And I have here next to my computer my nebulizer that I have to use every once in a while so I can continue breathing. At the moment, I am looking for jobs, but it's it's a slow process, a very very slow process, and it's just really how it's been. It's been a long day, a very long day for me. But I ever since I quit my job, I've just been well. Actually, even before I quit my job, I've just been I mean, just a little. I've been antisocial, and a lot of my former coworkers I used to work with have noticed that my behavior has changed a lot. Where I'm just angry a lot, and I snap at people a lot. It's really been um, it's been a long trip, and I'm glad you guys have stuck with with this for all this time. But yeah, it's I just really have a lot of things on my plate that I've just have not really dealt with. Uh, um, um, oof. Plus, I'm still having to learn OBS software as well. I'm I need to learn how to do it more, do it better. I'll probably have to talk with a couple of people about that. Probably Ben. I'll probably have to talk to Ben about that. He knows more about OBS than I do, about switching from one thing to another. But I am gonna try something real quick. Hopefully you can bear with me because I'm not really good at all of this. I'm gonna try and turn my camera on. Let's just see how it goes. Let's hope I can get a good picture. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Let's just try. There it goes. All right. Um, it's trying to come up. I'm sorry about that. it may come up. It may not. I just hope that it'll work. I've got the camera at 20 frames per second. I just hope that will work. Um, there we go. I think that'll work now. Can you guys see me now? I think I've got it up where you guys can check. I haven't really looked onto YouTube. There we go. Is the frame rate any good? Yeah, hey Ryan. Is the frame rate good? Because on my end, it's kind of wonky. Am I moving slow or fast or anything? Am I dropping frames on your end? Because I can't really tell. I probably don't have a good connection anyway. Looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Hi guys. Sorry about the light back there. It's it's been a long time. I've had a long day. Yeah. I would have other. I would. I'm kind of nervous to get onto Discord as far as the stream is concerned because I don't want it to go. I don't want it to go poopy on me. But yeah, from the look on the stream, it's looking good. So yeah. Hey Ryan, if you're on Ben or if you're on Ben server, if could you put this in the announcements on Ben server if you're on there? Let everyone know I'm streaming. There we go. I'll see what I can do on my end. Have to probably use my phone to copy the URL. Hmm. Well, well, thankfully the heater kicked in because it's getting cold. Um, it's been a long time since I've done any streaming. I'll try and do some movie commentaries sometime, but not tonight. I'm kind of beat. I'm wore out, but look forward to some movie commentaries. Hey, Mike. Hey, Fletcher. How you doing? Speaking of wrestling, I did get a chance to watch Raw. Not that great. Could be better, but AEW is doing really good. And if any of you follow professional wrestling here in Oklahoma, you will know that if you guys are familiar with Imperial Wrestling Revolution, they've decided to move out of Oklahoma and go to Texas, and they've changed their name to uh, good lord, world class world class pro wrestling. I have to watch. I did see one episode of the new NWA. I do know about the controversy that Jim Cornette did stir up with his comment during the match with what's his name, who used to wrestle for WWE a long time ago. Oh, Trevor Murdoch. I did see that. Um, I'm very happy for the National Wrestling Alliance. It seems like they're doing a great time for themselves. Hey, Bone Jabber, how you doing? Yeah, Jim Cornette did make a joke. It was a very ill-timed joke, but he made the joke. He said it live as the whole thing was going, and well, people didn't like it, and he resigned. I'm not sure if he resigned. I think he did resign and issued a somewhat of an apology. um, if any of you follow Collider Video, oh my God, the shit has hit the fan. The the shit has hit the fan as far as Collider Video is concerned. Every Collider Movie Talk, Collider Heroes, and Collider Jedi Council have all been canceled. And the shittiest part of it was all of the cast of those particular talk shows were notified an hour before the shows were scheduled to go on the air. 1 hour before. 1 hour before the shows were scheduled to go on the air for Collider Live, they were told, "You're fired, get out of here." And on the very same day that they were told that they didn't have a job at Collider Video, their second in command, Jack Hind, the little dipshit, decided to go on Twitter and berate every single person that got fired. I won't go into the whole gist of it. If you want a whole detailed discussion about that, I would suggest going to John Campia's YouTube channel, because he was the creator of Movie Talk. He created the whole Movie Talk show and left, and for 2.5 years he didn't say a word about what was going on over at Collider until the shit hit the fan. Uh, uh, John Campia will go into a better and longer detail of what happened. Go to youtube.com/slash John Campia, and um and he'll probably be able to look, and you'll find it was part of I think it was part of a show. It was part of one of his shows, an open mic. It was part of his open mic show, but he did upload the full 24-minute rant that he did about Collider Video and all that. Hey, well, I'm glad to be back on YouTube again. I'm very, very happy that I'm able to do this again. Um, WrestleMania is a couple months away, but the Royal Rumble is just a few weeks away. And on Raw, Brock Lesnar, the WWE Champion, announced he'll be part of the Royal Rumble and he'll enter at number one. Yeah, Brock Lesnar, the WWE Champion, entering the Rumble at number one. And he won't even be defending his WWE Championship in the Rumble. Why, I don't know. So how have you guys been? How's your day been going? I'm not for me. I'm not playing any games today. I'm not going to be doing anything like that because, well, I enjoy my YouTube channel way too much because I don't want copyrights. Um, expect a movie commentary short in the coming weeks, depending on if I can or not. Well, I have plenty of time to do it. It's just trying to find the time to do it. A suitable hour where I can actually sit down and watch a movie or even a TV show for that matter. But it'll be in the old. It'll be in the old style that it'll be. I will still have all of you get your own copy of the movie or TV show and sync it up with me. I'll still have you guys do that. I don't know what Brock Lesnar's going to do. To be honest, I've just quit. As far as Brock Lesnar's concerned, I've just, I've just let Brock Lesnar do his own thing. It's just crazy. Uh, I don't know why I'm so tired. I've been sleeping almost all day long, but I am tired. It's 11:56 p.m. Central. Uh, so I'm kind of running out of things to say here. Uh, the one thing I will, the one thing I can't speak today. Good lord. I did a lot of DVD selling. I sold a bunch of my DVDs. I sold most of my Dragon Ball Z collection, more specifically the DVDs. I want to get the Blu-rays because they're better quality. There's this show that I've been watching with my roommates, with my friends and my friends and roommates, called Legacies. It's part of the it's a good lord, it's part of the Vampire Diaries universe. It's really good. It's a really good show. I highly recommend it. Well, I sold my most of my Dragon Ball Z collection because I needed money, and the only way to I needed money for bills and whatnot. So plus I figured, and plus the other reason why I sold my collection was because my DVD collection is because I want to get the Blu-rays, and also the other reason why I sold my collection was the stink that the voice actors for Dragon Ball Z are currently doing with the whole Vic Mignogna situation, and I won't go into details about that because that's a can of worms I am not going to open. Um, as far as the movie commentaries are concerned, I will have to. I'm not exactly sure which movie I'll be doing a commentary of next. Correct. Who is MJF? I forget. Was he the guy that ended up backstabbing Cody Rhodes on AEW? Because I forget. Oh yeah, him, yeah, yeah. That particular dummy is gonna get what's coming to him. He's been trying to get out of a match with Cody ever since he sucker punched him. Yeah, MJF is gonna get his ass whooped. He is. And I really hope Cody Rhodes can get the rights to his father's ring name. Now, most of you know that. Some of you may know that Dusty Rhodes. That's not his actual real name. The real name of Dusty Rhodes is Virgil Runnels, and Cody's having to fight for his father's ring name, which I think WWE currently owns, and I think Cody's having to sue WWE for the rights to the name Dusty Rhodes. I've watched AEW ever since it came on the air. I've not missed a single episode of AEW, but I need to start watching their YouTube series, their AEW Dark. I need to start watching that because they do reference it a lot. They do reference it a whole lot, and I need to watch that. But as far as going back, as far as the movie commentaries are concerned, I I will not be doing any I will not be watching any of the Star Wars films because that's a can of worms I don't want to open. As now, as far as Star Wars, well, speaking of Star Wars, I do want to talk about a rumor that has been started. I'm not sure if it's true or false, but there is a rumor, and there's a whole lot of rumors about Star Wars going on now. But one of the rumors I heard was a old Republic trilogy. As far as the new Star Wars trilogy after Episode 9, which is the final movie of the Skywalker saga, I've heard rumors of them going back to the old Republic, going back 500 years, back to when Yo was young, and doing an old Republic trilogy. I really don't know where they can go from here. I do need to see Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, hi mom. Yeah, I see you there. Hi mom. I do need to see Rise of Skywalker. I haven't as of yet. I may wait until it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray and see it then. I definitely will see it as soon as it goes to one of my local video rental places. When it comes to when I see a DVD or Blu-ray copy at my local video rental store, I will definitely grab it and rent it and watch it. I have heard mixed reactions of Rise of Skywalker, and of course, you're gonna hear, yeah, that's my mom. That Linda Boyer is my mom. Yes, she does. She does. This is my first live stream in 2 years, and I'm slowly getting into the rhythm of things. I really had to I really had to do some fighting with my live streaming equipment. More specifically, OBS. I had to reconfigure it to my laptop because for all those different live streams, all the live streams I did 2 years ago, I did with my desktop computer, but I'm having to do it with my laptop now because I'm having to connect via Wi-Fi. I don't have any Ethernet cables yet, but I will have some Ethernet cables pretty soon. But I'm still I'm still intrigued with what they're doing with Brock Lesnar. Having the WWE champion enter number one in the Rumble, and I'm not sure if they're gonna have him defend his title, but that looking back, I'm kind of confused as to why they had Brock Lesnar in the Rumble as the champion, but why not? They're running out of ideas anyway. Who do you think got me into Fletcher? My mom got me into pro wrestling. My mom's the one that got me into it. If it wasn't for my mom, I would not be a wrestling fan today. She got me watching WCW Monday Nitro way back in 1995, and I've been hooked ever since. And she did. She used to wrestle briefly, very briefly, but she did. She wrestled for a local wrestling promotion. I think it was Mid South Wrestling Alliance, or as they call themselves back in the day, they called themselves a new Mid South Wrestling Alliance. Now it's just Mid South Wrestling Alliance. And the one thing I did not know, and I'm not sure if you knew this, Mom, but I looked up. I looked up. Yep, Mid South Wrestling. Yeah. Uh, prior to Mid South Wrestling Alliance becoming Mid South Wrestling Alliance, they used to be called Power something. I forgot the name of it, but they used to run out of Shawnee, if you can believe that. I think it was Power Wrestling, Power Pro Wrestling, or something or other. But they used to run out of Shawnee between '94 and '96. Hey Dell, how you doing? Yeah, so far, Dell, there hasn't been a whole lot of tornadoes, thank God. Mostly earthquakes and rain. But yeah, for all of you that have been watching my live streams in the past, I'm back. Since I no longer work nine to 5 anymore with a regular job, I figured, well, might as well go back to doing live streams until I can. Yeah, Power Pro. They ran out of Shawnee way back in between '94 and '96. Then they shut their doors. Then they decided to move to Oklahoma City. To the picture this, if you will, guys, because my mom knows this, but back in 2000 2001, they used to run out of a flea market. There was a bar. There was a Mexican bar that was attached to the flea market, and that was the venue. That was the venue that they ran out of, was a Spanish speaking bar, and it was small. It would fit maybe a couple hundred, maybe 100 people tops. I think the most that they ever had was, I think, 25, 50 people at most. But later on, they ended up moving to a bigger venue, closer towards the closer toward. I think they moved into an old movie theater venue, to an old movie theater that a old shopping. They moved into an old shopping mall, which was attached to an old theater. And I think now they had. I think now Mid South Wrestling Alliance is in a flea market, I think, and from what I saw, the owner of Mid South Wrestling Alliance had to stop doing shows because of lack of I forget exactly why, but he had to stop doing some shows. He had to vacate all the titles. For some reason, things were happening. Let me look it up on Facebook real quick. Oh yeah, lawsuit. That's why. Okay, it was because of a lawsuit. They had to vacate all the titles and whatnot, but they have promised that they'll do some more activity later on as best as they can. Yeah, on January 1st, on the new year, um, I'll read the entire thing that the board of directors for the MSWA posted. It said, for immediate release, as of January 1st, 2020, all active MSWA championships have been vacated until MSWA is able to begin regular events and once again bring you the best wrestling action that Oklahoma City has to offer. When MSWA once again produces bi-weekly or monthly events, a tournament will be held to determine a number one contender. That number one contender will face the former champion. Signed, MSWA Board of Director President Jason Kirby. So, yeah. Mid-South Wrestling Alliance has had to vacate all titles because of a lawsuit. I think you may be right, Mom. I think it's because of a lawsuit they're facing. Probably because of the use of the name Mid-South, which I think WWE now owns. It could be a lawsuit that WWE's bringing against him. It could be a talent owner related. It could be one of the wrestlers suing him or something. But they haven't posted a whole lot. But now we're just down. So in reality, there's only one. There was only one. Too many injuries, I believe. It's either a lawsuit or injuries. Wait, they really weren't really specific on why they had to do it. They just said all titles had to be vacated and whatnot. But I think now there's only one active wrestling organization running in Oklahoma, and that's Compound Pro Wrestling. I believe in Tulsa, because World Class Pro Wrestling, formerly known as Imperial Wrestling Revolution, moved to Texas. Mid-South Wrestling Alliance is shut down until they can get over whatever problems they're having. And Compound Pro Wrestling, I'm not even sure if it still runs. I'm not sure if they're still an active wrestling promotion anymore. Haven't heard anything out of them in quite a bit. But there's a lot of, believe it or not, if you are going to run a professional wrestling organization, there's a lot of politics that go into running it. A whole lot of politics. I've only seen bits and pieces of the behind-the-scenes politics that go into running a company, but you do not. It's a headache. So I got onto the Compound Pro Wrestling Facebook page. The last thing they posted on their Facebook page was in July of 2019. They had to cancel a fan interaction event they were having on July 12th because there was not enough demand. Not enough people bought. Not enough people wanted to. So apparently, there's no longer any wrestling promotions running that I know of. Now, there may be some outlaw promotions that may be doing some shows, but as far as the legitimate wrestling promotions that have promoter licenses and wrestling licenses, there aren't any. I myself I've been toying with the idea of starting up my own wrestling promotion, but the hardest thing to start one is coming up with a decent name that hasn't been taken yet. Now, there are some matches that WWE has done since. One of the best matches I think of now going from me talking about running a wrestling promotion to WWE. I think one of the best matches I think of the 2010s would have to be the WrestleMania 23 rematch on Monday Night Raw I think it was in England. It was a 1 hour. It was a 1 hour match between Shawn Michaels and John Cena on Raw. There were supposed to be two matches. There was supposed to be Shawn Michaels versus John Cena, and then Edge versus Randy Orton. And the reason being is those four folks were supposed to be. It was supposed to be a build up to Backlash, because Orton, Edge, Michaels, and Cena were supposed to be in a fatal four-way at Backlash, and those two matches that took place on Raw were supposed to give us a preview of the action that was going to take place at the pay-per-view. But they decided to have Shawn Michaels and John Cena wrestle for an hour, and Orton and Edge never had to wrestle that night. So they just sat back and watched the whole thing play out. That's one of my favorite matches. Now, as far as the best match of the 2010s, I would have to say I'm not sure if I can come up with a top 10 list right here and now as to what would be the best matches of the past decade or of the past 10 to 20 years. But one of the most emotional matches, I would have to say, was Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24. That was an emotional match from beginning to end. Because at that particular time, Vince McMahon had told Ric Flair, the next match you lose, your career's over. And I kind of knew going into it that may be Ric Flair's last match. I didn't want to believe it. I did not want to believe that would be Ric Flair's last match, but if it was a great way to go out. Because the night before, he had been inducted into the Hall of Fame. I was emotional from beginning to end. That entire matchup, especially going to the very last super kick that Shawn Michaels did, and prior to him delivering that final super kick that won him the match, he said, "I'm sorry, I love you," and delivered the super kick to put Ric Flair down for the 1-2-3. And as soon as the 1-2-3 happened, Shawn just hugged Ric Flair and kissed him on his forehead, and the camera quickly panned over to Ric Flair's family. The one thing I didn't realize at the time was Ric Flair's youngest daughter would later on go on to compete in WWE as Charlotte Flair. But I used to know her real name, but I know her wrestling name as Charlotte Flair. But the other emotional moment for me was Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26. That was a pretty emotional match, especially whenever when from it wasn't really an emotional part of the match, but it was Shawn Michaels showing his defiance to the very end. Whenever Shawn was on his knees, Undertaker just kept telling him, stay down, and Shawn wouldn't. Shawn just looked up at Undertaker and went and did that out of defiance, and did that, and then got up and slapped Undertaker across the face. Undertaker got mad and delivered a tombstone pile driver to it, of all tombstone pile drivers, and put Shawn down for the 1-2-3. And for years after that, Shawn Michaels refused to wrestle up until the Saudi Arabia event where the Brothers of Destruction went one-on-one with D-Generation X for the very first time. But as far as WWE is concerned, I don't know. There've been a lot of good matches in the past, but as far as now, I would have to say some of the best matches I've seen from WWE in the last year or so. Well, obviously, the best match I've seen in the past 2 or 3 years was at the previous WrestleMania. Whenever, yeah, Shawn Undertaker was kind of, yeah. Out of the past 2 to 3 years, one of the best matches, one of the best comebacks I'd ever seen was Goldberg. Goldberg coming back for the first time since WrestleMania 20. I think it was a 12. It was 12 years since Goldberg had been in a WWE ring, and that match, a Survivor Series between Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, was by far one of the best matches that those two ever put on. And prior to there was a documentary that WWE put up on the network. It was WWE 24. It was going into the first 24 hours of Goldberg's, I think, WrestleMania. I think it was leading up to his match with Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series or WrestleMania. I'm not sure, but in one of the clips, it featured Goldberg walking up to The Undertaker backstage, hugging him and laughing with him and asking him for advice. And the piece of advice that Undertaker had for Goldberg was just have fun. Because when Goldberg had his initial run, from his initial 6 or 7 month run in WWE the first time around back in 2002, 2003, he wasn't having a whole lot of fun. Both Undertaker put that rumor to rest. No, Undertaker put that to rest. Yeah, Undertaker addressed that with. I think he addressed it with Stone Cold Steve Austin and said that wasn't true. I think even Shawn Michaels talked about that. He briefly touched upon it. Yep. Good night, Mom. See you later. Oh, I think I know which interview you're talking about there, Fletcher. I think it was behind. I think it was an ESPN interview. I think it was behind the scenes or whatever it was. Whenever he was still doing his American Badass gimmick, I think when he had his short hair. I think his short hair plus that goatee mustache. But but I'm not really. There have been a lot of people saying for the past couple of years that Undertaker should just wrestle Sting. But after watching a documentary that really went into the entire match between Seth Rollins and Sting, where Sting got injured, I think it's just best to leave that alone. Because for years and years, ever since 1997, when Sting Uh, since late '96, early '97, whenever Sting changed up his character from the Surfer Sting to the Crow Sting, we've all wanted Sting to wrestle the Undertaker, and I think in 2011, in 2011, Sting almost made the jump to WWE. He almost did, but he thought better of it. Um, I, I really think Undertaker has one more match in him, and here's why. The last match that we saw of Undertaker was against Goldberg. That match wasn't that great. In fact, there were a lot of botches and Goldberg knocking himself out when he went head first into the turnbuckle, into the steel post, which was covered by the LED stuff. Goldberg has said in the Broken Skull sessions that he wants to remedy the situation. He wants to go one more time with the dead man, and he Goldberg has said that he owes Undertaker a better match than that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they brought Goldberg back one more time to face the Undertaker. Not sure if it's going to be a overseas event, or if it's going to be WrestleMania, or if it's going to be Survivor Series. I don't know what, but I really think that Goldberg and Undertaker need to have one more match, just one more, just to even things out. Good night, Fletcher. Have a good night. See you later. I'm not sure how long I'll be going for this stream either, but maybe sometime Friday. And what is today's the 8th, and Friday is I'm maybe Friday if things. I'm not sure if I'll do a stream Friday. I may do one. I may do one tomorrow night. Who knows? But tomorrow night I won't, because AEW's gonna be on. Well, technically, because it's now Wednesday, because it's 12:26 in the morning. It's technically tomorrow, but when later on tonight, Wednesday night, which is tonight. As far as another stream within the next 24 hours, probably not. Thursday night, maybe. Thursday night, I may do one. Now, I may be doing some. I'll probably do a live stream once a week, but as far as my movie streams is concerned, as far as me doing movie commentaries, I probably won't do those live, because I'll be having to have multiple programs up at once. I'll probably just tape those. I'll probably just record those and upload them to YouTube. Okay, Ryan. I'll probably try and stream Friday. If not, I'll see you sometime next week. Good night, Ryan. I'm glad to be back too, Ryan. But as far as I'll probably just do I'll probably record the movie commentaries. That way it'll be easier to do. Trying to do live streams trying to do a live stream of a movie commentary is going to be difficult, but you will still have to have your own copy of the movie that I'll be watching. I will not be able to show you the movie, or I won't be able to show the video or play the audio from the movie. You'll have to play the movie yourself. But I think the next move. I think I may leave a poll. I may do a poll on my Discord and I'll probably set up a poll on my Discord server and let you guys decide. But this has been a pretty interesting live stream. I've had to work out the kinks. I went live a couple of times before this one because I had to work out all the kinks and stuff just to make sure everything was working again. But yeah, I'm glad you guys decided to come by and watch the stream. I will probably see you guys sometime later. Let's see if I can remember how to turn the stream off. So I'll see you guys sometime later.